also known as Gus Rise Above on YouTube and Instagram. Welcome back, guys, and welcome new listeners, new viewers. Welcome to my channel. Hope you like it. Definitely check out the rest of my content when you get the chance. But anyway, let's get to it, guys. So, in today's video, this is going to be geared towards people joining the military, of you going to Meps, which pretty much to see if you qualify for enlisting into the military. Pretty much that's what Meps is. Pretty much Meps it stands for Military Entrance Processing Station. That's what it stands for, okay? And pretty much what you're going to be doing is you're going to be qualifying and seeing if your aptitude is good enough to join your branch. You're gonna be doing a physical qualification and a background evaluation. You know, all three of those components are going to be very important for you qualifying to join the military. So, my experience, I was brought there by my recruiter. I got dropped off, and when you go inside the building, this is gonna be more of for Oklahoma City Meps, but I'm pretty sure this is universal. Okay, so you're gonna go through security, and you're gonna walk past the check-in station to where you're gonna be talking to the people, giving them your papers, doing their fingerprints, and so forth. So depending on who's all there, there might be a group of people there, or it might not be that many people there. When I went, it was quite a few people there, about 15 people there total when I went to get processed in MEPS, and pretty much make sure you have your Social Security license, proof of ID that you are who you are, and your test scores in case you are taking your ASVAB or language test or whatever, at a different location besides MEPS. Make sure you bring that with you too, before you can show them that, hey, I've already taken my test and so forth, just to have proof of that. And regardless of that proof, you're still going to have to take your ASVAB to make sure that's your accurate score that you can score. That it wasn't a fluke, and same with your other tests that you may have taken. So, you're gonna go up there, show them it's you. You're gonna do a fingerprint, and then eventually you're gonna go off to a waiting room, and you're gonna be waiting off from there for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and then you're gonna get called to go to the lab to take your test all over again. So pretty much, you're gonna take a test on the ASVAB. Like, you're gonna be taking a personality test, which doesn't even matter. It's very, very fucking dumb, the personality test, because none of it makes sense. None of it applies to you really. It's just it shouldn't even be there on the computers. I remember my recruiter telling me that hey, the personality test is so outdated that the military hasn't bothered to taking it out. So you'll see when you take it. It's crap. All right. So anyway. When you get done taking your test, whether it's for the ASVAB, a language test to be a translator, or whatever you're trying to qualify for, you're going to leave, go back out to the waiting lobby by the processing desk, to where if you pass whatever, then you're gonna go ahead with the initial processing of getting your fingerprint did, picture taken, and then if you got dropped off by your recruiter, he's gonna come there and pick you up and take you to the hotel which you're gonna be staying at. And in Oklahoma City, it's the Renaissance Hotel where you'll be staying at, which is if you're familiar with Oklahoma City, if you're from Oklahoma City, it's just straight across the street from the Sheraton Hotel. Okay, so pretty much when you go inside the hotel, you're gonna be given a card, whatever. Well, not a card, but you're gonna go up to the desk on the left-hand side as you walk into the entrance of a Renaissance. And this might be different, if you're somebody watching this from a year from now or 2 years from now and so forth. But you walk in and you tell them, hey, I'm here from MEPS, for the military, and they'll tell you where to go upstairs. So you're gonna go upstairs to the second floor into this room, to where there might be some guys in there waiting to get briefed by the guys who's in charge of y'all in that room, for your safety and so forth, to where you go in there, and if he's there in there, he's gonna have you fill out a paper that you understand, that you agree to the rules, that you can like not to have any weapons or not to break the rules, or you will be kicked out. And so pretty much, you fill his paper out, and then eventually, maybe an hour and a half after everybody gets done with being processed in the Meps, the guy, whoever's in charge, will have all y'all watch a video on the rules and regulations of Meps and how to not get kicked out. So after that, you'll be giving your cards to your room, and then you'll have a roomie, And my roommate, he was pretty cool. He was a young guy, 19 years old, full of energy, So it was, my roommate was cool, and pretty much, you can leave the Renaissance Hotel to go downtown to Bricktown or just around the area, but you have to sign out, and you gotta be back at a certain time before you can wake up for going to Meps in the morning again. So pretty much, me and my roommate, me and him were pretty laid back guys, so we just came back to our room after eating, at 8:30, and just kind of chill out, and then we, kind of did our own thing, and he fell asleep, and then eventually I fell asleep, and eventually we woke up at 5 o'clock, 4:30, got dressed, ready, and went down to eat breakfast, and then we all got on the bus, to get taken to Meps, and Jesus, it was a long day, guys, being there at the Meps building. Pretty much, you get checked in again. You go inside, you go through a metal detector, and then y'all get taken to the areas to where eventually you're gonna go through all these screenings to see if you're physically fit, ready, and so forth to qualify for the military. So you're gonna go off into this room, and there's gonna be some people over at the desk who are gonna be like checking you in, telling you where to go, what stations you need to go to next, and so forth. So eventually, you go in there, you get your blood, you get a blood test did to see if you have any pathological diseases, anything abnormal in your blood. You do an eye test, you do a hearing test, which are all, they're all pretty simple. With hearing tests, you pretty much click this button beeper off in the room for the noises that you hear, and you click it. And eye test, you're looking at letters to see how far you can see, nearsighted or farsighted. The P test was the most awkward one because the guy who's doing it, he'll take 5 of you into the bathroom, and you're all standing in front of a urinal, and he's just sitting there off on the side, watching you in a chair, watching us all pee, and it was just, you're not used to having somebody every day just watching you pee, and you sit next to a bunch of guys, there's no divider, you're all just trying to pee in the cup, it's like, come on, pee, and it was just awkward, plus I was the last one, kind of got wrong because my last name's Walker, I was the last one to pee in the cup, but other than that, did that, and then eventually we went and did our, what did we do next after that? We did our background. We did our physical test, which we go into the room with the doctor. We'll strip naked. He'll see if you have anything wrong with your body. He'll check your testicles. Make you cough, drop, squat, and then everything's fine. And you go back out, and then eventually you'll go back inside, and eventually you'll do the physical test to where you go inside the room. And you'll do duck walks, certain arm elevation exercises like this to see if your shoulders move the right way. You'll do a leg raising exercise to where you raise your hips at a certain angle and do the exercises. I can't remember how exactly we did them. Again, like I said, we did duck walks. We did marching movements, squatting movements. Just a bunch of movements to see if we're physically capable of performing our job, And surprisingly, I got nervous while doing our exercises to where I wasn't following directions like the guy wanted us to. So he was kind of getting a little irritated at me, and I was a little embarrassed because I was like, man, why am I getting nervous? Because I'll let you guys know. I've already been through Meps back when I was 20, and I had no problems doing the physical test, or following directions and doing it and not being nervous. But anyway, I passed and so forth. And so eventually after that, you go off. You'll once you get done doing the physical, you go back. You go through another door to where they'll do the background check to make sure that you didn't to make sure that you're being honest about your background. Like if you have do you have any traffic citations? Have you done any illegal drugs or anything that you didn't tell your recruiter about or that you didn't list on the paper? And I forgot to mention that I did some drugs. I don't know why I forgot, but I did. But they're cool enough to let it slide. It was an honest mistake. I don't know why I didn't put it on the paper. I don't know why. So I told them the truth, and I thought that was gonna get me not enlisted, but thankfully they didn't do that to me, which I was very grateful for that. So after you do all that stuff, you're going to pretty much if you finish all that, you pretty much you qualified to be off in the military. You pass Meps, so you go back off to a waiting room and you sit in there. It might take you 10 minutes to over 2 hours to before they call your name to the office in your prospective branch. And unfortunately, towards the end of Meps, they're getting ready to stop swearing in people. So I was being rushed to get processed and to get sworn in, and eventually, I got sworn in. We went into this room to where they had the military flags, and one of the officers came in there and sworn us in. It was me, another guy, and the rest were women. So it was about 5 of us in this room, from what I recall. And we do the swearing in. We stand at we stand relaxed. We stand at attention, and then we stand relaxed, and then eventually we do the sworn oath right here, like that. And then we all get sworn in. And then you can take pictures with the guy with the officer that swears everybody in. To where you can do one to where he faces you, and you're like this, or you can do one where you're shaking his hand. But guys, expect Meps to be a long ass day. All right, long ass day. We weren't allowed to bring any tablets or our phones into the while we're being processed. So very, very boring. But if the best way to make time pass is just to talk with your with the other Meps, with the other enlistees trying to get into Meps, which a lot of them are friendly, cool from my experience. Again, I was one of the older guys. I think I was the second oldest guy, out of all of them in the room. So there's gonna be a lot of young guys, 17, 18, 19, and there might be maybe four guys that are 24 and up, and the oldest guy in my group, he was 28 and I was 27. I'm 27, So other than that, guys, so anyway, guys, thanks. Just to remember, just to wrap up this video, make sure that you get plenty of sleep before you go. For the first day, especially the second day, since it's so long, because you're gonna be again super bored, and the only thing that's gonna be able to keep you awake or stimulate is talking to the other people that are gonna be there with you. Okay. Also, make sure you bring all your stuff. Make sure you're before you even go to Meps, make sure you're honest about your background. Tell the recruiters everything that you've done. If you're taking any drugs recently or 2 or 3 years ago, just be honest about that, all right? Because don't be like me to when I go to Meps and then I feel morally obligated to tell these folks that hey, I forgot to mention that I actually did these drugs, 2 years ago, and then have the judgment of not being let in because of you forgetting to tell them that, So just make sure you tell them that, just be honest, all right? But other than that, guys, I feel like I'm rambling on. If you have any questions or comments on this video, just ask me, all right? I'd be more happy to answer any questions or whatever, all right? But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, And until next time, deuces.